Bailey Smith, first name on my whiteboard.
Is he going to stay there for the duration of the year?
For the year? Yeah, interesting question. So what did you make of the story last week that actually got all the way to the coach who denied it about Collingwood telling their players not to, or to tone down at least the amount of photos that they're in with him?
Yeah, interesting. I hadn't heard of it, and obviously Craig McRae hadn't, but it wouldn't shock me if there was some level of communication within the club that suggested that.
Does that automatically make you think that they want him and that they don't want to tell people?
Oh, they clearly want him.
Yeah.
And the Dacos boys have a connection. They're both in the Barry drink with Bailey.
Yep.
And I know I spoke to Josh in the pre-season and he was very strong on if Bailey wants to come, we'd be open arms to bring him across.
He's the perfect player for Collingwood.
I agree.
In every way. For the team, for the club.
For the demographic on field too, with Pendlebury and Sidebottom in the twilight. He'll come in and take a midfield role.
Yeah. He's the star player in a small club getting poached by Real Madrid. That's...
The Beckham?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
David Beckham?
Yeah, well, he's probably got the similar level of fangirls. Comparatively to population, of course.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
Fascinating. I mean, Sam Landsberger reported it, and he's pretty well connected at most clubs, but particularly at the Dogs. So I sort of smoke fire kind of theory. Thought there was something to it. I just can't see him staying at the Dogs.
Yeah.
Personally. Having said that, though, like it's easy for me to sit here and say that when he's not playing.
Yeah.
If he was playing and he was dominating, we'd probably be saying, oh, well, the more he's playing well, the more he's likely to stay. But he's had the 2-year offer, the 2-year extension on the table for some time. He'd be silly to sign that without working out what Hawthorn and Collingwood and Geelong, and there'll be a couple come from the clouds, I'm sure. Can Sydney find a way, fit him into the salary cap?
He's back at the club in the last fortnight. So he'd been away sort of on and off because as part of his rehab, he'd been training sort of externally to the club, but he's back inside everything right now. If you were to rank them 1, 2 and 3 in terms of order of most likely where he's going to go, Hawthorn, Collingwood, Geelong right now, what would you have them?
Question without notice. I would still have Geelong just in front of Collingwood.
Yep.
So I'd say 55 Geelong, 35 Collingwood.
So Hawthorn you're ruling out? Or
that leaves a little bit.
Leaves 10, if my answer's right.
55 and 35 is 90, that's correct.
Yeah.
It leaves 10 for... Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I would think. I mean, the Hawks are pretty interested in him last year. They would have given their first round pick, who they used on Nick Watson, who looks a player, although he's very small. But there are people that think that I overrate Bailey, so maybe clubs won't come as hard as I think they will.
I would have it right now of 1, 2 and 3.
You think Max Holmes is a better player?
Yeah.
Oh, don't. By the way, I was listening to your little radio bit with Kane Corns and David on Friday. They go, and then you quickly shifted the blame to me.
Kane goes,
love to go to war with Mitch, by the way.
Kane, you don't rate Max Holmes. I said, hang on a second. That's my co-host.
Yeah.
Good to get Tradies a plug on another network. I would go Hawthorn, Geelong, Collingwood.
Is that the opposite of what I said?
No,
I said Geelong first.
Only because...
you reckon Hawthorn...
Yeah.
Hawthorn need him the least of those three clubs.
I agree with that. But I just think in terms of the salary cap room they've got and their need to get into the market for a star player, they're looking for...
If you were Hawthorn, would you offer him $1 million?
No.
No.
The reason I have Collingwood third is purely because I think he'd be a great fit on field in terms of the acquisition of getting him. They don't have a first-round pick right now. They gave it up for Lockie Schultz. And you would think they're going to be in contention in the next 2-3 years. So their future first-rounder...
Would the Hawks give their first pick again? Offer it up?
I don't think so. I think you could go and split it.
Yeah. What's he worth, though?
If it's a pick 4, do you go and get a pick 12 and 16 and offer 12?
Pick 12 for Bailey Smith, yeah. Yeah. I would have said that was unders if he'd had a full good year this year. But he's come off a knee, so 12 sounds about right.
Yeah.
But you can guarantee that if he nominates Hawthorn, the Dogs will be like, okay, cool, we'll have pick 4.
Yeah.
And then the games will start.
You might need a bit more than 12 and 16 for 4. It's probably maybe more like 10 and 14. But
yeah.
Anyway, we can work that out. But I just think the Pies are going to be in the window next year. So that future first, if they were to put that on the table for Bailey Smith, would be 15, 16, 17.
Yep.
And the question comes in, how desperate a club's going to be to hold on to their first round picks in the next couple of years because Tassie's coming. Do you want to be offloading all these first round picks?
Tassie definitely coming? I'm just asking.
Mm.
I wonder if the new CEO is just waiting to see what happens with the stadium before he makes the move.
Are you asking that in the terms that you know?
I'm just asking the question. Why hasn't Brendan Gale announced what he's doing yet?
He's very invested in the new Jack Dyer redevelopment.
Is he?
Yes.
I would re-investigate that claim.
You don't think he's?
I would just reinvestigate.
You don't think he's invested in that?
I would check some contracts and see names attached to it. Anyway, because we say that the Air Raid sign, it's got nothing to do with trade.